Hello, Hamish here from mortgagesonline.co.nz. I've got Brent Denny with me today from CoverSure, and we're talking about flooding and what's covered in insurance. He does a lot of great house insurance policies.
I do, for you as well.
Yeah.
So we're getting like a lot of inquiries at the moment, just due to all the recent crazy weather that we've had, around what people can and can't claim for under their house policies or contents policies for various the storms and flooding that we've had lately.
Yep. And what are you finding? Like, first of all, it's interesting because the structure itself is covered by your insurance generally.
Yes,
so
for
there's
flood.
EQC and then there's the private insurer, right?
That's right. Yeah. So depending on the scenario, there could potentially be sort of two parties, but you should only ever be dealing with your insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any damage to the land and there's some specifications that you need to review to see if you can claim them for that, but that's covered by EQC, up to the EQC cap of $300,000. Alternatively, if there's damage to the physical house itself, it's usually always insured by the insurer when we're talking flood.
Yeah. And obviously at the moment with timelines and stuff, how, like, you got a flooded home or parts of your home flooded, what can you expect from the insurance company?
Unfortunately, at the moment, there's a lot of delays, and what we're seeing is a lot of the insurance companies, they're prioritising claims. So if you've had a claim that, say for example, you've had like some camping gear or something like that damaged out in the garage, it's probably going to take the insurers a wee while to get to you. But if you have been in a situation where you've been had to leave your house or property because of the flood, then you're going to be on a more high priority queue, and
right.
Hopefully we'll see some quicker action.
And also, just so I understand, it's something that a lot of people don't know, contents insurance, even if you're renting, can give you some cover, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Depending on your policy, obviously, but...
Yeah, so most... policies should have some form of flood cover. Again, a similar sort of process. It'd be the same sort of priority. Again, if all your possessions have been damaged in a flood, then again they're going to want to try to settle you as quickly as they possibly can, or get so that you can get clothes and that back on your back. But if it's a bit of damage to the garage and you lost a few tools or what have you, then again they're probably going to take a wee while to get to you.
In terms of the EQC, so let's say, like my example, I lost a little bit of land that is now being shared by the neighbours with the water, which, I mean, it's okay. Obviously, there's a lot of people in a way worse situation, so I'm okay with that. But surprisingly, there could be some cover under the EQC for that, right? If it's close enough to the building and stuff, there's some certain rules here.
Yeah, that's right. So if it's generally speaking, if you've had some severe flood damage where there's sort of land and that's been gouged away, and the land itself is within 8 metres of your own building, or outbuildings for that matter, then you may be able to lodge a claim. That sort of claims always settled by EQC.
Unless it's accessways, right? Then you can be up to 60 metres or something.
That's right, yeah. So if accessway, so generally speaking, you're probably talking a driveway, then yes, they can cover that upwards of 60 metres away from the house itself. So yeah, so there is some cover there, but it is restricted in terms of what
is covered, right?
Correct. What? Yeah.
So my citrus trees and things and my bark that I lovingly put in place.
Yeah.
Which the natural water feature of a waterfall that basically came about very quickly that night. I remember kind of swept it away.
Right.
But you mentioned earlier the bark and they might not cover landscaping as such.
Yeah, it's not something that EQC would probably be looking to cover. They'd be looking to reinstate the land itself, or organise some sort of remuneration for you to reinstate that.
Yep.
But there may be some small benefits under a standard house policy. Some of them range. They might have sort of like $5,000 or $10,000 worth of cover that you might be able to tap into that way as well. So there's cover there, but it really depends on the insurer and the policy wording.
So I guess the key thing is, if you've had leaks, good idea to have a good look at the structure maybe and make sure there's no
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I guess a couple of things I suppose to do. Like obviously, if you've had any, if you knowingly have had any damage, it's important to like document the damage that you've had. So taking photographs and that of it is really important and will help you further down the track for any potential claims settlement. Obviously, lodging the claim with the insurer as well. The quicker you can get in, the quicker you get onto their radar. And then you've got to do if you there's some sort of like mitigating thing that you need to do. Say you might have to lift carpets because they might be starting to go mouldy or smelly or something like that. Then I would think that would probably be okay with most insurers to do that, but probably best to check with them first.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time. Hopefully that's been insightful, and thank you for watching.